Yeah, these are some of my sketches of these trees that we were looking at the other day. And like I said before, I love the way that the tops are a certain kind of line and that these middle areas have some kind of other feelings about line, and then you have these strong trunks. And as I said, I was trying to think about using them for inspiration. And then all of a sudden I decided, hey, I'll turn those things over. And maybe I'll be able to use as a starting point that shape, but have it turned upside down. And then today I've been trying to figure out where to place these objects in this larger room. For me, this is just a starting point at which to work. My initial ideas of looking at the trees and letting them be my inspiration is somewhat forgotten now, and I'll start working on these pieces and changing them into something else, into something that I feel like fits this space. One of the great things about using this space is that we are able to use the height of the space, which is such beautiful space. And we're able to use the steel girders at the top to help us hoist these pieces up initially and get the pieces started. Something that just can't happen in every kind of space. Perhaps one of my favorite things is to be in an interior space and then to go further and go inside of some other kind of container in that space. And to kind of have this sense of nature within an old dance hall, or a sense of vitality or movement, providing a different kind of dance step here perhaps. This work is in the Socrates Sculpture Park in New York City. It uses a steel framework of my house in North Carolina, as you kind of recognize in a vague outline of my house, and playing off this house shape and these kinds of workings of animals against the skyline of New York City. This is work harkens back to the tornadoes that blow across the Great Lakes. It's in Cleveland, and Cleveland sits on one of the Great Lakes, and this idea of a water spout kind of coming across the lake and ending up in this gallery. This piece is called Two Hut Tango, and these pieces are kind of dancing around and also trying to get out the window. This work is built in a park in England. It's a Leylandia hedge, and the way that it works is that you can walk into the hedge, which is really, it looks like a solid wall of green, but inside of this are these individual trees, and the tree limbs are just barely touching. And so it provides these very cathedral-like spaces within this hedge, and so this sculpture allows you to walk into those spaces and move along, and the ones that are high are skylights that illuminate the spaces that you're walking through. This is a set of slides that shows how something gets made. I actually build a structural base for what I do, so I work structurally first, and this shows how I'm building the structure. I'm weaving these sticks into this girders, into the windows of this old jail in Savannah, Georgia. And next that I begin working aesthetically, once I get a good structure in place, I work on that structure and try to put lines in a way that I really like them. I don't have to worry so much about whether they're going to hold the piece up. Finally, I go back and work cosmetically and tuck in all the little pieces. And so this is the final work. It's called cell division. And it was the idea of making these escape hatches so people could escape from the jail.
Also das ist hier die neueste Arbeit von mir, letztes Jahr im Herbst entstanden. Zum ersten Mal in der Dimension, also zweiteilig. Das hat auch eine bestimmte Bedeutung. Ich wollte hier nicht einfach nur pur skulptural ein Teil irgendwo abstellen, was in der Landschaft hier, also meiner Meinung nach, wie verloren stehen würde. Es sollte hier eine ganz bestimmte Situation entstehen, im Grunde eine Eingangssituation zu einem bestimmten Geländeabschnitt. Und zwar, hier passiert für mich Folgendes: Es spricht nicht nur die Arbeit selbst, beziehungsweise die zwei Teile, also jedes für sich, sondern entscheidend ist hier auch und auch dazugehörend ist eigentlich der Zwischenraum hier.
Zobaczymy, czy on potrafi w ogóle kręcić.
No. Ale tego jest nakręcone.